There you are.
Awesome. Can you hear us okay?
Okay. Yes, I can. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we can go ahead and get started then. Welcome to the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi Area's Candidate Forum. I am Eli McKay, Vice President of Voter Services. And on behalf of Catherine Oler, President of the Corpus Christi League, it is my pleasure to welcome you here. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization. We neither support nor oppose candidates of any political party. Since its founding over 75 years ago, the League's mission has been to promote voter awareness of candidates and issues and to encourage individuals not only to register to vote, but also to vote in every election. This forum was recorded on Tuesday, October 11th, and later posted to the Corpus Christi League of Women Voters Facebook and YouTube pages. Recordings of this event may not be used without the express written approval of the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area. The League will only allow audio and video of this event to be broadcast in its entirety, except by media reporting on the event. Joining me this evening are Annell Neale, our Zoom flight director, and President Oler, who will serve as our timekeeper for this forum. This forum features two candidates for Nueces County Judge, Connie Scott and Judge Barbara Canales. Unfortunately, Connie Scott was unable to join us this evening, so we will move ahead with the forum with Barbara Canales. And here's how the forum will proceed. Each candidate will be allowed 2 minutes for an opening statement and 1 minute for a closing statement. Between those two statements, candidates will be asked 3 issue-focused questions by the moderator, and candidates will have 1 minute to respond to each question. Rebuttals are not allowed. In unusual cases in which a candidate makes a reference to the position or record of an opponent, a brief 30-second rebuttal may be allowed at the discretion of the moderator. If mentioning opponents continues, the candidate will be muted by our Zoom flight director. A countdown timer will appear to remind you of your time limits, and when the time is up, please finish your sentence and yield the floor, or you will also be muted by our Zoom flight director. That being said, let's go ahead and begin this candidate forum. Judge Canales, if you wouldn't mind, 2 minutes for your opening statement, please.
Thank you so much. Barbara Canales, your Nueces County Judge. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve you these past 4 years. And I truly believe we have a track record and a proven, really goal-oriented accomplishments that we can be so proud of. I tell you that when I've written them down, I can see that from the coast to the country, we have invested in infrastructure to the tune of over $120 million. We've brought in federal and state grants to the tune of $150 million, all to make transformational change in our community. I have been focused in 2 areas, mental health, making it a top priority in Nueces County, along with drainage and infrastructure. They're completely different, and they have we've been able to work with Commissioners Court, outside organizations, and our political jurisdictions to be able to fund a first ever tri-county drainage study that is going to be very important for our future, for economic development, and for just quality of place for our residents. On the mental health side, we have been hard at work ever since 2019 with a mental health study by the Meadows Foundation to understand our strengths and weaknesses. We've been following their recommendations, but it's taken a real effort on our part and my administration in order to completely fund a new crisis care center for those who are afflicted with both mental and behavioral health. By doing this, we can hopefully stop the revolving door that is our jail and people who don't need to be there. This is a help when we are trying to lower tax rates. I can tell you that our tax rate has been lowered, but our reserves have gone up. We've been able to increase our reserves for operations during crisis to the tune of $8 million. For all of these reasons, I've been so proud of what we've been able to do together.
Thank you so much for that opening statement, Judge. I will begin with the questions. Question one for you this evening is, what are the top three countywide issues you would like to address over the next term should you be reelected?
Well, first and foremost, we've talked about mental health, but we are just at the tip of the iceberg because we really focused on adult mental health and behavioral health issues. And we're also just now beginning the investment on transitional housing for people who need to have a place to go after they have received their outpatient services. But we need to turn our sights to our adolescents and our children. And so my hope is that I will begin the effort to champion exactly what we've done for adult mental health for our children. In addition to that, I think that there is much work that needs to be done for economic development. We're still looking for that quality of place. As the new Harbor Bridge is completed in our future, the old Harbor Bridge will come down, leaving over 43 acres of space. I imagine a place, our own Central Park, a place of wellness, bike paths, running, playing with retail and office multi-use. And this will be the vision for our future.
Thank you so much. Our next question for you is, what can be done to ensure that Nueces County has sufficient power during extreme weather conditions, especially for persons or groups who may be underserved?
Oh, I'm very glad you asked that question. So as the emergency manager of the county, I've been focused on making sure that we register people so that we can identify who needs to make certain that they are vulnerable in our community, possibly because of chronic illness or devices that they are in need of every day. And by doing that, by identifying them, we can provide services to them during times of crisis. On the energy sector, you might remember I'm a petroleum engineer, and I believe in all forms of energy to establish our economic engine here in the coastal bend. So the way to make sure that our grid is stable is you need to make certain that you are diversified. Solar, wind, hydrogen are all in our future. Our energy corridor is an incredible engine, but we also need to expand it. For our part, for county facilities, we've been working on natural gas generators with battery backups. This is how we keep our community safe and our services running during times of crisis.
Thank you so much again. And so our final question for you this evening is, how will you ensure purposeful growth and development to improve living and business conditions in the county?
Thank you for that question. It relies on balance, being able to have a beautiful, healthy environment for our bays and estuaries. Our air quality and our water quality requires a champion for all of those causes. As a member and the vice chair of Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries and a member of the Baffin Bay Stakeholder Group, I'm committed to water quality projects. We've already established a first of its kind 501c3 for air quality so that we can stay in ozone attainment. But we're not looking to just do the minimum. We're looking to do more than. And I think that you need a judge to continue this quest over the next 4 years because we've seen monumental growth. But you've got to have the balance that makes certain that we have the right habitat for species, the right investments for water quality from our creeks to our bays. And of course, the health of our Gulf of Mexico relies on beach renourishment, living shorelines, and protection for shoreline erosion.
Great. Well, this brings us to the point of the forum where you have 1 minute for your closing statement.
Wow, it's so hard in a minute to be able to express not only gratitude for that which has been given to me, the ultimate honor to serve in public service. I come from a long line of public servants. I do believe I am a hard worker. I know that I am committed to my community. I know that I love my community, and I know that I want to continue to serve. Why? Because I know there is much more work to be done. There is still opportunities to expand broadband rural communities. Still resiliency projects that need to be explored. We have a lifetime opportunity in our hands, within our reach, to reconnect communities after that bridge comes down. We have bipartisan infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act that will be able to provide transformational change again in our communities if we're aggressive with dollars, if we cooperate regionally. I want us to be a regional powerhouse in South Texas, from our higher educational institutions all the way down to our pre-K. I'm excited about the future, and I want to serve again as your Nueces County Judge.
Thank you so much for participating in our candidate forum, Judge Canales. I also want to thank Annell Neale, our Zoom flight director, and Debbie Noble, our director of our website and social media, in making this virtual forum possible. The League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area appreciates these candidates not only for their belief in the democratic process that we enjoy in our nation, but also for their commitment to public service and the sacrifices that have been made to participate in the campaign process. So thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Appreciate it.
Would you like us to just leave the room or just go on stop video?
We are done with this portion, so we are good to go. And you can enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, thanks again. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi Area Candidate Forum. My name is Eli McKay. I'm the Vice President of Voter Services. And on behalf of Catherine Oler, President of the Corpus Christi League, it is my pleasure to welcome y'all.
All right, thank you, Ms. McKay.
Thank you.
Thank you. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization. We neither support nor oppose candidates of any political party. And since its founding more than 75 years ago, the League's mission has been to promote voter awareness of candidates and issues, and to encourage individuals not only to register to vote, but to vote in all elections. This forum was recorded on Tuesday, October 11th, and later posted to the Corpus Christi League of Women Voters Facebook and YouTube pages. Recordings of this event may not be used without the express written approval of the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area. The League will only allow audio and video of this event to be broadcast in its entirety, except by media reporting on the event. Joining me this evening are Annell Neale, our Zoom flight director, and President Oler, who will serve as the timekeeper for this forum tonight. This forum this evening features two candidates for Judge, County Court at Law, number 1. That is featuring Todd Robinson and Melissa Madrigal. And this is how this forum will proceed. Each participating candidate will be allowed 2 minutes for an opening statement and 1 minute for a closing statement. Between those two statements, candidates will be asked 3 issue-focused questions by the moderator, and candidates will have 1 minute to respond to each question. Rebuttals are not allowed. In unusual cases, which a candidate makes a reference to the position or record of an opponent, a brief 30-second rebuttal may be allowed at the discretion of the moderator. If mentioning opponents continues, the candidate will be muted by our Zoom flight director. A countdown timer will appear to remind y'all of your time limits. And when your time is up, please finish your sentence and yield the floor, or you will also be muted. With that, let's go ahead and begin this candidate forum. So we'll start with 2-minute opening statements. Mr. Robinson, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Ms. Madrigal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To begin with, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters of the Corpus Christi area for giving us this opportunity in this forum to reach out to the voters here in Nueces County. A little bit about myself. My name is Todd Robinson. I'm running on the Republican ticket for County Court of Law number 1. I have been in practice here in Nueces County for 24 years. I am a lifelong resident of Nueces County. I have experience in all types of law that appear before this court. I've been a prosecutor, I've been a criminal defense attorney, worked in civil field doing civil litigation. My current practice, I have quite a bit of probate work that we do, and also I've been experienced over the last 10 to 15 years in the mental commitment hearings. All of that is important because those are all types of law and cases that are heard in County Court of Law number 1. In addition, I am a magistrate judge with the city of Corpus Christi. I have been a magistrate judge with the city of Corpus Christi for 10 years. As I said, I am a lifelong resident of Nueces County. I'm married. My wife Tina and I have 2 daughters, Alyssa and Abby. We live in the Cal Island area where actually I grew up, and my daughters go to school there. So again, my name is Todd Robinson. I am a candidate for County Court of Law number 1, and I will be asking for your vote on November 8th or starting October 24th with early voting, and on Super Tuesday, November 8th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Madrigal.
Hi, thank you, Ms. McKay. My name is Melissa Madrigal. I want to thank the league as well. Thank Mr. Robinson for coming on, and thank everybody for listening to the League of Women Voters forums. My name is Melissa Madrigal. I am your Nueces County Magistrate Court Judge. I've been an attorney for about 24 years. I've been a prosecutor. I've been a defense attorney, and I've been a magistrate judge since 2005. I look forward to County Court of Law number 1. I believe that I have the experience right now as a magistrate judge. I sit for the district courts. I hear cases for the county courts of law, and I have been doing that for quite a while. I also hear cases for divert court, veterans court, and the DWI court out of the magistrate court. I think that the cases that we're going to hear in County Court of Law number 1 is the majority is going to be criminal cases. I have the experience in that. I grew up in Corpus Christi, Texas. I graduated from Ray High School, Del Mar, and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. My first job was for with a 3rd-year bar card was for the Harris County District Attorney's Office. I came back and worked as a county attorney, eventually becoming an assistant district attorney. I'm here. I'm asking for your vote for October 24th through November 4th, which is early voting, and election day, Tuesday, November 8th. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those opening statements, y'all. And I will get started with our first question. The first question of the evening, we'll start with Judge Madrigal, and then we'll move on to Mr. Robinson. And the first question is, what, if anything, should be done to improve access to justice for low-income residents?
I guess the access to justice. I think basically increasing the amount of information that we provide. As having my court in the jail, I think providing information to the people that are arrested. You get a lot of people that come into the jail that don't know what the next step is. They know they're going to get a bond set. They know that they're going to bond out, but they don't know what the next step. And I think that providing information to everybody that's being released and everybody that's in the jail as to how the steps of the process work is extremely important. And also increasing our information in the way that we process indigent defendants. We have indigent defense coordinators now, and I would like to see them in the jail actually interviewing people to not only know the information in regards to their finances for court-appointed counsel, but also mental health. I think it's crucial that we have that one-on-one communication.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robinson. Same question, and if you need me to repeat, I certainly can.
Oh, I'm okay, thank you. Access to the justice system for low-income residents, I believe was the question. I think that's important on a couple of aspects. First, dealing with criminal cases, putting the information out there, making the information readily available to those individuals on how they get representation, getting these individuals representation quickly when they've been incarcerated and arrested. There is a process that goes through. That process can be streamlined and sped up a little bit, I believe. And getting those individuals that are indigent representation quickly is essential and will improve the process of giving them access to the courts. The other individuals, the individuals that don't have criminal cases as far as being indigent and need access to the courts, again, information, posting information on websites, posting information at the courts, giving them opportunities for help outside of the courtroom.
Thank you so much for those responses. For this next question, we'll start with you, Mr. Robinson, and go to you, Ms. Madrigal, after that. This question is, in your opinion, are there enough courts and judges to service the needs of your jurisdiction? Should the number of courts be expanded, or are there other measures that could be implemented to ensure timely justice?
Well, that's a tough question. And that's a question that is hard to answer because we've grown up with these amount of courts. We practiced growing up when I was a prosecutor, we had 4 county courts. 4 county courts worked very well together, and those county courts moved their dockets. Recently, we've seen a little bit of a backlog because of the COVID pandemic that we've been through for the last 2 years. We're coming out of that and starting to move forward. I believe the answer to that question would be no. I think that the amount of courts that we have now can cover the dockets as long as we have litigants that are prepared and ready, and the cases are ready to go to court and the cases get set for court. And also from the criminal side, we have prosecutors that are prepared and ready on a weekly basis, as we were back in the late 90s, early 2000s, be ready to move those cases and get those cases heard before the court. Give everybody their day in court.
Thank you so much. Same question. And of course, if you'd like me to repeat, I certainly can.
No, I'm good. All right. And the number of courts, I think that Nueces County has a sufficient number of courts. I agree that, we have 4 county courts at law. And what we have seen in the last couple of years is a tremendous amount of diversionary programs. Those are the criminal cases that are coming into the misdemeanor courts. They can be diverted. So the need for an actual trial or actual court hearing is lessening and lessening. What we do have is a lot of civil cases. And I think that the courts that we have now can handle the civil litigation that they currently are filed and are being filed in our county. I do believe that we have to have everybody ready. We have to be prepared so that we don't have continuance after continuance after continuance, and we can be better prepared to make sure that we hear cases in time to the event, because I think it's important for people to have their day in court and not let it trail off for years.
Thank you so much for those responses. For question 3, we will again start with Melissa Madrigal and go to Todd Robinson second. This question is, what quality is most critical for a judge to possess for fair administration of justice? And how have you demonstrated this quality?
I think one of the most important qualities that a judge can have, aside from experience and fairness, is the sense of responsibility to actually listen to the people in front of them. I've been in court myself in other courts where you get shut down by the judge and you're not able to express your argument on behalf of your client. And I think that is crucial, taking the time to actually listen, to be prepared, listen, and not consider anything else but the facts and the testimony that are being provided to you, apply those to the law. And I think that is a crucial requirement for any judge to rule fairly based on the evidence that's been provided to them. I do think that that's the most crucial.
Thank you. Same question, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you. And I believe it's a judicial temperament. And temperament is, in my opinion, is based upon knowledge and experience and working with people, understanding the complexities of cases and the individuals that come before the court. Everybody's got a story. Everybody wants to get that story out, and everybody's entitled to get that story out. And, having the right judicial temperament, the courtesy to hear people out, give them their day in court, give them their time, be respectful, be polite, ask questions, everything that you would expect from a court without having to go in there and worried about being treated unfairly or being treated wrong. And part of the question was, how have we experienced this in the past? I've worked with different lawyers, clients for years and years and years, and have always made it a point to be courteous, professional, and have that temperament where we can get along and get something resolved.
Thank you all so much for answering our questions. And we'll now move to the closing statement portion of the forum. And we'll start with you, Mr. Robinson, for a 1-minute closing statement.
Thank you. I just want to thank the League of Women Voters in the Corpus Christi area again for allowing us this opportunity with this forum to reach out to the citizens of Nueces County. We're coming up quick. Early voting starts in about 2 weeks, I believe. And every opportunity to get out there and meet people and talk to people is a blessing, and we thank you for that. I'd like to thank my opponent for being here as well. And again, this race is important. And this is a race that I feel like I possess the qualities and the experience and the knowledge to fulfill this seat. That's why I'm running for it. And I will be asking for your vote beginning October the 24th, continuing through November 4th. And if you aren't able to vote, an early vote, election day is November 8th, and I ask for your vote, Todd Robinson, County Court of Law number 1. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Madrigal, 1 minute.
Okay. All right. First, of course, thank you to the league for putting on the forum. And of course, Mr. Robinson. My name is Judge Melissa Madrigal, and I am asking for your vote on November 8th, early voting starting October 4th through November 4th. Of course, you can see online the different locations where you can go early vote. It's crucial, this election cycle. I believe that as the magistrate judge for Nueces County, I've been doing the job with the county courts in regards to criminal law. I've sat in the district courts. I have my judicial temperament set. I treat litigants fairly, with respect, and I listen to the people in front of me. I think it's an important function of the court to take the time to listen, understand, and rule fairly. And I think I've shown that through the years. And that's why I'm asking people to vote for Melissa Madrigal, County Court of Law number 1. Thank you.
Thank you all both for joining us at this forum this evening. I also want to say thank you to Annell Neale, our Zoom flight director, and also to Debbie Noble, director of our website and social media, for making this virtual forum possible. The League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area appreciates these candidates not only for their belief in the democratic process that we enjoy in our nation, but also for their commitment to public service and sacrifices that they have made to participate in the campaign process. So thank you again, both, for being here and joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You can both leave at this time.
Thank you.
I
Thank
I
you very
didn't know
much.
we just hit me. Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Melissa. We'll see you.
Bye, Todd. See you later.
The Wonderful. All right. Well, welcome to the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi Area's Candidate Forum. My name is Eli McKay, and I'm the Vice President of Voter Services. On behalf, excuse me, I'm sorry. On behalf of Catherine Oler, President of the Corpus Christi League, it is my pleasure to welcome you here. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization. We neither support nor oppose candidates of any political party. Since its founding more than 75 years ago, the League's mission has been to promote voter awareness of candidates and issues, and to encourage individuals not only to register to vote, but also to vote in all elections. This forum was recorded on Tuesday, October 11th, and later posted to the Corpus Christi League of Women Voters Facebook and YouTube pages. Recordings of this event may not be used without express written approval of the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area. The League will only allow audio and video of this event to be broadcast in its entirety, except by media reporting on the event. Joining me tonight are Annell Neale, our Zoom flight director, and President Oler, who will serve as our timekeeper for this forum. This forum features two candidates for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 5, Place 2. Hermelio Pena Jr. and Armando B. Gonzalez Jr. Unfortunately, Mr. Gonzalez could not join us this evening, so we're going to move forward with the forum with Mr. Pena. And this is how the forum will proceed. Each participating candidate will be allowed 2 minutes for an opening statement and 1 minute for a closing statement. Between those two statements, candidates will be asked 3 issue-focused questions by the moderator, and candidates will have 1 minute to respond to each question. Rebuttals are not allowed in unusual cases in which a candidate makes a reference to the position or record of an opponent. A brief 30-second rebuttal may be allowed at the discretion of the moderator. If mentioning opponents continues, the candidate will be muted by our Zoom flight director. A countdown timer will appear to remind you of your time limits, and when your time is up, please finish your sentence and yield the floor, or you also will be muted by our Zoom flight director. And with that, let's go ahead and begin this candidate forum. Mr. Pena, you have 2 minutes for an opening statement, please.
Okay, well, thank you, and I'm so happy to be here with you, and would like to thank the League of Women Voters for offering this opportunity to share with your viewers and our voters our positions regarding our offices. So, in brief, I am Hermelio Pena Jr., and I am a candidate for Justice of the Peace of Precinct 5, Place 2. The office which I'm seeking is located in the city of Agua Dulce. It has an area of 302 square miles, and it encompasses the township of Banquetti, the city of Robstown, and the rural areas surrounding those municipalities and townships, including Blunger, and so it's a vast area. And I'd like to take this opportunity to share with you the fact that I was, in 1994, I was elected to serve the same position for a period of 24 years. So I served 6 consecutive terms in office, holding this office until 2018. And then I have currently been serving as a municipal court judge for the city of Agua Dulce, a position that I currently hold. And I feel that the years of experience that I have in the practical application of my job as a Justice of the Peace throughout those years have given me a wonderful amount of exposure to so many different types of cases that I've rendered judgments on that prepares me for holding this position once again. So I welcome the opportunity. It has been a wonderful time campaigning again, something that I enjoy thoroughly, and meeting some new people and participating in the process of registering people to vote again is a really exciting opportunity to have people participate, not only in my election, but election on the county level, state level, and the national level. I think that's an opportunity that a lot of us take for granted, but people have given a lot of their own personal sacrifice so that we may have this right to exercise our right to vote. And sometimes we don't utilize it to its fullest potential. But I'm one to say that every vote counts. In my previous election, it was 13 votes between the two of us. So we go back and check the stats and find at least 30 people that I know personally that said, I'm going to vote for you, and then they don't show up on the voter list having voted. So every vote does count, but you need to be informed of who we are and why we seek these positions, and who you, in your mind, after hearing us, is the best qualified person to serve that position.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
I will begin with our first question for you this evening. The first question is, what will be your priorities in office, and what measurable actions will you take to address them?
I think my first priority, which again, I don't want to be muted, but the first priority is to take a position of being available to the community, being present at the office on a day-to-day basis. And I can revert back to my 24 years in office that I was there on a daily basis to serve the people of the community, to take action on things that needed to be decided immediately, to make sure that I had an insight to the day-to-day operations of the office, and direct my staff and clerk to conduct themselves appropriately. And so my goal would be to be available, to be present, and to serve the people of the community, to have an open door policy. And to make that happen is basically revert back to what our parents taught us, that if you work an honest day's work, you deserve an honest day's pay. And when you take the taxpayers' dollars and you implement them in a salary, I think the taxpayers deserve to have someone who is going to be visible, who is going to be active, who is going to be present on a day-to-day basis for a full-time position that pays a full-time salary.
Thank you, sir. And for question 2, the question is, what steps would you take to address any backlog of cases?
The first thing we would have to do is, of course, to get a running total of what we have, the type of cases that are there, and take a proactive role, take the bull by the horns and get in there and get down into the trenches and make sure that we pull the cases and start the docket, do a roll call on the docket, and send out notices. I know that everybody has a different tactic, but when I was in office, we were very proactive in trying to pursue the defendants by mail, if at all possible. We used Omni very frequently, which flags their license, to get these cases resolved. But I think that being present and daily and taking an active role in the day-to-day operations gives you a better measure of where you are and what needs to be done, so that these cases can be adjudicated and can be closed as they are entrusted upon us to do so by law. And so to do that, as I mentioned before, we would have to take a very proactive role and measure if there is a backlog, and if there is, make those a priority, of course, taking into account that we have the current active role cases that will be filed on a day-to-day basis as well. But I think that can all, when I handled those cases for those years that I was in office, we went from a small caseload to, when we were consolidated with a larger precinct, to an astounding role where we went from one.
Sir, you have gone beyond your limit.
Sorry, it is 1
Thank you.
minute.
Yes, I understand. I was looking for the little timer that told me it was time to slow down, but that's fine. Thank you.
No worries, no worries. We'll move right on to question number 3 for you, sir. Question number 3 is, what quality is most critical for a judge to possess for the fair administration of justice, and how have you demonstrated this quality?
I think there's more than just one quality, but I think that the type of quality that I think helped me a lot was to be a good listener, to give the litigants or defendants or plaintiffs an opportunity to state their case. I don't like to interrupt. I like to listen to everything that I need to know so I can make a fair judgment. And I think I possess those qualities. I'm very patient, and I do lend a listening ear, and I want to know all the facts, and also be open-minded and apply the law fairly. So there's a lot of good qualities that makes a justice of the peace a good person to hold that office. I think that those qualities that I possess, modesty as well, and knowing that it's the people's court. I think that's the most thing, that they've entrusted us with something that belongs to them, and that is.
And that's time, sir. Sorry, that is time. But that being said, we've come to the portion where you will have a 1-minute closing statement. So if you can just give us a 1-minute statement, and thank you.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. So again, my name is Hermilo Peña Jr. I seek the office of Justice of the Peace of Precinct 5, Place 2. I think I have the qualifications necessary to hold that office with my experience, with my years of actually holding that specific office. I think I'm well qualified for that. I live in this community. I was born and raised in Banquetti. My wife and I have been married 40 years. We have 11 children, 2 of which are biological and 9 which are adopted through the awards of the state. And we adopted 9 children who are now grown adults, and we have 2 left in the home. So I offer you myself as an individual who is humble, who is ready to work, who will work a full day for a full day's pay, and you'll get the best money for your taxpayer dollar by hiring me through the election process to be your Justice of the Peace for Precinct 5, Place 2 of Nueces County. And I thank you for this forum, and y'all have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so much. And thank you for attending this forum, sir. It's greatly appreciated. I also want to thank Annell Neale, our Zoom flight director, and Debbie Noble, our director of our website and social media, for making this virtual forum possible. The League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area appreciates these candidates not only for their belief in the democratic process that we enjoy in our nation, but also for their commitment to public service and the sacrifices that they have made to participate in the campaign process. On behalf of Catherine Oler, president of the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area, as well as all members of the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area, thank you for watching this candidate forum. Be sure to check out the League's online voter guide, vote411.org, which is available in English and Spanish. By entering your address at the vote411.org website, it will produce an electronic My Ballot for your specific address that shows all of the races and candidates you will see on your 2022 election ballot. Please check for the .org portion of the Vote 411, as some unscrupulous actors may be attempting to redirect traffic. Printed copies of the English and Spanish state election voter guides provided by the League of Women Voters of Texas, and a 48-page guide to local races compiled by the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area will be distributed in mid-October. For locations, please visit the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area website at LWVCCA.org. Remember that early voting starts Monday, October 24th. The Corpus Christi League of Women Voters website also contains up-to-date election information, including early voting locations. As a quick reminder, recordings of this event may not be used without the express written approval of the League of Women Voters Corpus Christi area. The League will only allow audio and video of this event to be broadcast in its entirety, except by media reporting on the event. Again, on behalf of Catherine Oler, President of the League of Women Voters, Corpus Christi area, as well as all members, we thank you for watching this candidate forum. Thank you, sir. Have a great evening.